There's been a lot of housing love in this update 37, and I'd like to show you a few of the quality of life improvements that are coming to the Elder Scrolls Online. Hello, it's Icy back with another video all about the housing, of course, as is my wont. Today I would like to show you a few of the improvements, quality of life improvements that are coming with this update. Now, I'm going to show you some in here in this house that I haven't bought, and then I will purchase the house and then show you a few more. So, when you are previewing houses in the store, either through the Crown Store or through purchasing the houses in-game for gold, when you enter the house, you can now see what the furnishings are in the house. So you can see, as I am looking at this monolith, it's actually telling me what it is. And as I look around, everything is just a little bit highlighted. So I can actually go through and see all of the things that I'm actually going to get when I purchase this house. If I come into the purchase menu on PC, that's F5, I can actually click this button called Furnishings, and that will give me an actual list of all of the things that are present in the house, which is lovely. If we go back in and switch it from unfurnished to furnished, and then hit the preview. So in this particular section, it's not going to drop a lot more in because outside's not really furnished. But if we go back into furnishings, you can see that we've got a lot more items in here. So we've got all of these courtyard items as well. So you can use this to very, very clearly see the difference between the unfurnished version of the house and the furnished version of the house. Of course, if you buy a house for gold, it will come as unfurnished, but usually that means it includes lighting and plants. So even an unfurnished house in ESO, whether for gold or crowns, still comes with a fair amount of stuff. But it is admittedly useful to see what's the difference if you're purchasing for crowns between furnished and unfurnished. So what I'll do now is I'll take you to somebody else's house so you can see how it works there. So this is Tower Dweller's house that I visit sometimes to borrow his crafting stations, and hopefully he does not mind that I'm also using it for this video. One new addition in the game on the PTS is the ability to look at other people's furnishings to see what it is they've used when they're building it. So if we hit F5 in someone else's house, what happens is it turns on a view that's very similar to the one we just looked at, but I can now look at the objects in this house and see what they are, as well as you can see the paths for any of the NPCs who are walking around. So this is great. You can also see if there's any linking set up, as you can see here where the chairs and the table are linked together. So you can actually have a look. If you're in someone else's house and you go, oh my god, how did you do that? That looks amazing. You can now actually find out the objects that they're using to see what's going on. Now, let me take you to one of my houses. So this is the rather lovely Fogbreak Lighthouse. Please do check out the video previewing this house up in the corner. So a few things here. One thing is the new way to reset training dummies. This works both in your house, but also in other people's houses as well. All you need to do is if you get into combat, do some damage, and then hit F5 while in combat, it will reset the training dummy that you're on. And it'll give it, you know, like 10 seconds or something, and then it will reset it. So you no longer need to put it into your inventory and drop it back out again if it's your house, or just hang around and wait if it's at somebody else's house. If there's a dot on the ground, a damage over time on the ground, some sort of ground effect, it will attack it again and you'll have to reset it again, but it works perfectly. And as I said, it works in other people's houses as well. All you need to do is hit F5 and it will reset the trading dummy. That is amazing. Okay, so as an owner of a house, what you can now do is there's a few other options. So if we go into the housing menu and then we go into settings, we can actually see a list of who's in the house. So you can actually, without add-ons, know who's actually present in your house right now. You can also right-click on them and say kick occupant. I don't think that's going to work for me, as it's my house and I'm the only person here. We might try it later and see what happens, but it will make this video very awkward if I do that. So you can use this to kick any occupants that you need. The other advantage is if you need to keep people out, you've actually got their user ID here, and then you can actually add it into your ban list if you need to. So the other thing that will happen as well is as people come in and out of your house, up in the top corner, you'll see a message saying who is entering and who is exiting as well. Now, some of these things are already in the Essential Housing Tools add-on that's available to be used on PC. Once again, the good bits are being moved over into the general housing UI, and I think that is fantastic. And the other one that's also currently in the Essential Housing Tools, but is now being rolled into the main part of the housing, are these filter options. These are really great. So what you can do in here, so you've got the themes, you can filter by theme, so Breton, Redguard, etc. But now you can also filter by a number of items in here. So you have location. So is it stored in your bank? Is it one of your collectibles that sort of floats in the ether? Is it in one of your housing storage boxes, or is it in your inventory? You've also got the states. So is it bound or is it unbound? So mostly bound are crown items, not always. There's a few other sorts of bound items that have come from events, but that can tell you whether they are there or not. I like to put the bound items into a house first because they don't stack very well usually. And then you can also sort by furnishing type. So traditional, special, collectible, and special collectibles. What are special collectibles? There we go. Things like non-combat pets, tethers, house guests, that kind of thing. So collectible furnishings, different storage boxes, different bits and pieces. Now you'll note here also, not only am I sorting by this, I'm actually sorting by both things at the same time. So it's actually a toggle, which is really powerful. So you can say, please show me all of my bound items that I have stored in my inventory. And then you can choose to place those in or out of your house. It's rather great. So, and honestly, it's actually a shame that that wasn't added to the theme selection, because it would be really super handy if, for example, I could say, okay, I'd like to filter by all High Elf and Alinor style furnishings. Oh, I suppose that happens anyway. High Elf and Argonian styles, for example, to give something that's fairly opposite, and then show me all of the things that are bound or unbound. So I think that is it for the quality of life updates for housing for ESO for Q1 for 2023. I love them. I love them. I think they are just really spectacular, really great additions to the housing system. And the thing I really, really like and appreciate is these were things that are absolutely vital and I use all of the time in the Essential Housing Tools. But now this is available for all of the ESO community, whether you have access to the add-ons or you choose not to use them or not. So that includes everybody on PC who doesn't want to use add-ons. And I know a bunch of people who are housing mancers who don't want to use the add-ons, which is, of course, 100% fine. And of course, all of those fantastic housing mancers who are on console they actually get access to more of the things that just make housing a little bit smoother, and I think that's fantastic. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you looking forward to experimenting with these new options? I know I am, very much. Just as a little aside, the filtering system is actually more powerful now as the built into the game than it was in the essential housing tools. So looking forward to playing around with that. That's really fantastic. But if you haven't, throw me a follow here on YouTube. It's very much appreciated. And also, come follow me over at twitch.tv/ICYIC, where I stream a lot of ESO housing. You can probably tell, but I'd love to see you there. Thank you very much for watching, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.